Vanessa Turner, and I am an individual cancer survivor. I got here by way of Centera. I am the wife of Linwood Turner, the daughter of Georgia Bailey, the sister of four sisters and one brother. I live in Norfolk. I grew up in Norfolk. I graduated from Hampton University, and I worship at First Baptist Church on Butte Street. The day that I got the diagnosis, a couple of days before, I had some endometrial bleeding, and so I called the doctor on the Monday. They let me come in on a Tuesday. On Wednesday, on a Tuesday, I had a biopsy. And on Wednesday, they called me back into the office. But during COVID, I had to go alone. My husband could not be with me. So when the doctor called me in, she gave me that bad news, and I received that bad news alone in a doctor's office without my husband, without my support. When I came out of the office, my husband was waiting for me, and I shared the bad news with him, and we prayed and cried all the way home. But I felt in my soul that the way I was warned that God was going to save me and He was going to bless me, and He did. So I was going to the gynecologist, but my gynecologist had shared that once I reached the age of 55, 60, I did not need an annual exam. So I continued to have one, though. I had one the year before, but I was told that I didn't really need one, but I felt like I did, so I did. I advocated for myself because I felt like I've just been told all my life that after a certain age, you have to have a gynecological exam. And so I continued to have mine. I continued to have my mammograms, and I continued to have my gynecological exams. I have friends that are in the medical community. So I had a doctor that's an oncologist that I called immediately after I got my diagnosis. There are a couple of medical professionals at my church that I reached out to. And so I had that support. But when I think that at the oncology clinic, I think that they think that they do better than they do supporting us, but they don't. They give us a lot of information. We come in for our treatments. The nurses are kind, but behind the scenes, when you need help, you need to talk to someone. There's no one there to talk to. I came in contact with Project Nana. It was a strange situation. I am the CEO and president of my church, and we received an email about beds that were available to the community. So I called as a representative of my church to find out about the beds. And then just in my conversation, I met this very nice young lady named Vanessa Hill on the phone. And we were talking, and I shared with her that I could not meet her because I had a chemotherapy treatment. And so I shared my story with her, and that's how I came into contact with Project Nana. I learned that I have to advocate for myself. I learned that I have to share my story with others. I learned that there are a lot of women out here who were told what I was told, that you don't need a gynecological exam after a certain age. And I found out through Project Nana that we do, and that we need to advocate for these women who don't know. Bleeding after a certain age is not normal, and you need to get it checked out. That you need to also advocate for yourself. You need to listen to your body. You need to get a support group. You just don't need to, you don't have to go through this alone. There are a lot of opportunities out there, a lot of resources out there, and you don't need to go through this alone. But you need to advocate for yourself because you know your body, you know yourself better than anyone. Okay, I reached out to my family members, my sisters, my aunts, cousins, female cousins, and just shared with them to get their gynecological screenings. And I just tried to find out if anybody else had anything like this, and I found out that no one else did. My sister did have breast cancer, and my maternal aunt, but there was nothing else in my family, no one else in my family who had anything like this. My husband has been there every step of the way. We talked about it the other night, that when I woke up that morning and I realized something was wrong, I didn't want to wake him up, but I came into the room and I just made noise, and he woke up and said, "What's wrong?" And I said that I think I have cancer. And he was like, "Well, you don't have cancer. Why would you think that?" And I said that something was wrong. And so my husband has been with me every step of the way. The only time that he was not with me was when I got the original diagnosis. But other than that, he was not in the room. But other than that, my husband has been with me every step of the way. Every chemo treatment, every radiation treatment, every time my back hurt, my legs hurt, everything I needed when I wanted a Whopper, when I had no taste and all I wanted was a Whopper. My husband was right there to get it for me. Everything that I needed. I could not ask for a better partner. I could not ask for a better husband. He's just the most wonderful man I've ever met in my life, and I thank God for him because he was right there with me every step of the way and still is. And it has made our marriage stronger. It has made us stronger. It's brought us closer together because this is something that we never thought that we would experience, but we did, and we did it together. I knew that when I had the warning sign of endometrial bleeding, and then I called my doctor and had an immediate appointment and had a biopsy like the next day, and then the diagnosis the next day, I knew that God was going to save me. I knew that I was gonna survive this, even though I was diagnosed with stage 3C cancer. I knew that I was going to be saved, and I thought, why is this happening to me? Why, what am I supposed to do with this? And I realized that I'm supposed to tell people about this. I'm supposed to tell people that endometrial bleeding, anything after a certain age, is not normal. You need to get it checked out, and you need to advocate for yourself. And I want to scream to the mountaintops that, God is good, and you have to have faith. You have to have a support system. And my testimony is to just show the world that God is good, and you have to trust. You have to trust and believe, and you have to trust and believe in yourself as well.